Beware, coward.
Yes, I know I said that the next episode of the Big Daddy D's Classic Game Reviews was going to be Street Fighter 2, but I recently came across this little beauty, so I had to review it. It's as simple as that. It's the SNK Arcade Classics Vol. 1 for the Nintendo Wii. Ah, the mighty Neo Geo. You were a powerful machine, and you were sought after by many a gamer back in the mid-90s days of the Mega Drive and the SNES, as you were considered to be one of the holy grails of gaming. However, you never really took off in this country like those other two consoles did, mainly for one reason. It was about 200 quid a game. Jog on. But even though I was a Sega Mega Drive fan, that still didn't stop me from wanting to watch the Neo Geo, this beast of a machine, in action on such TV shows as Games Master and Games World, as lucky boys and girls, and even old-age pensioners, slapped the crap out of each other on such titles as Art of Fighting and King of Monsters. But times have changed, and these days we've got plenty of cheaper options if we wish to play on a Neo Geo game. If it's not enough that several of SNK's classic titles are already available on the Nintendo Wii's Virtual Console, but we've also got this fantastic disc. SNK Arcade Classics Vol. 1, that contains a whopping 16 classic games from the Neo Geo back catalogue, many of which you can now see flashing across the screen in front of you. Whoa, playing Neo Geo games on a Nintendo console? I feel kind of dirty, yet also really good. And you know what makes this even better? I picked up this disc for a mere £10 from Computer Exchange. £10 for 16 games that would have cost £200 each back in the day. So that's a saving of 3,190 quid. Not a bad deal, I'd say. We're going to take a look at some of the games on this collection as part of this review, although I'll probably dedicate separate episodes of the Big Daddy D's Classic Game Reviews to some of these games individually. Because this isn't just a cheap selection of no-name games they threw together. Oh no, some of the titles included here are absolute classics, such as the likes of Metal Slug, Samurai Showdown and Fatal Fury, not to mention the other games I mentioned earlier. There's also some great games here that you might not have heard of, such as Last Resort, which is an R-Type style shoot-'em-up. There's also Top Hunter, an action-packed platformer, along with Shock Troopers, which is like SNK's answer to Capcom's top-down shooters like Mercs or Commando. There's also King of the Monsters, which is a lot of fun. I used to play this title back on my Sega Mega Drive back in the day, but it was a severely scaled down version of the original game seen here. SNK Arcade Classics Vol. 1 is available for the Nintendo Wii, which is the version we're reviewing here, and it's considered to be the definitive version, as the PlayStation 2 and PSP versions had jerky frame rates on some of the games, and numerous slowdown issues when there's a lot of action happening on the screen. In particular with the King of Fighters 94 and with the PSP version of Shock Troopers. So yeah, the Wii version is definitely the one to go with here. The Wii version also supports 4 different control schemes, so you can play it either with the Wii remote on its own, with a nunchuck, with a classic controller, or with a GameCube joypad. The Neo Geo console was certainly a unique beast, as it was literally like having an arcade machine in your living room, as the console and the game cartridges were actually the same hardware inner workings of the arcade boards. Because of this, Neo Geo had a considerable amount more detail in its graphics than what anything else at the time had. It was certainly ahead of its time, and far more advanced than anything that the Mega Drive or SNES were putting out. The fact that actual Neo Geos are still going for a lot of money in the second-hand games market says a lot. Even this disc alone is going for a ridiculous amount of money on eBay, so if you see it for £10 like I did, snatch it up. There is so much on the disc to keep you going for a long time, in particular for fighting game aficionados, or if you're just a fan of old school arcade games, you'll be in gaming heaven here. For fighting games, we've got ourselves a right selection box of goodies here, as the collection features the likes of Art of Fighting, Fatal Fury, King of the Monsters, Samurai Showdown, The King of Fighters 94, and World Heroes. There's also a couple of scrolling beat-em-ups, such as the utterly bonkers Sengoku and shameless Final Fight clone Burning Fight. There's some great shooters with the aforementioned Metal Slug, along with Last Resort and Shock Troopers. We've got a decent selection of sports titles too. Play a spot of golf with Neo Turf Masters, kick about with a game of football with Super Sidekicks Free, or even play baseball with Baseball Stars 2. They never did get round to making a Volume 2, which is a shame. I'd like to have played King of the Monsters 2 at some point, or Free Count Bounce. Mind you, we did get a couple of compilation discs for the Fatal Fury, World Heroes and Metal Slug franchises at some point. We've had a bit of a Neo Geo resurgence recently, what with the release of the Neo Geo X Gold, which is basically a handheld version of the machine. You're essentially just paying 180 quid for an emulator that runs the games quite badly, with the sound all out of sync, and a screen that's in the wrong aspect ratio, which just makes it look like complete arse biscuits. Oh, and all the games are the American versions too, which means that the blood and jiggly boobies have been taken out of certain games. Oh well, you've always got the option of getting a hacked PSP 2000, I suppose. Indeed, as you play through the games, you'll get the chance to unlock bonus artwork, in-game music, and even the 16th game that's listed here, which is World Heroes. So indeed, there's going to be a lot here to keep you going for quite a long time. As a result, the Big Daddy D will give the SNK Arcade Classics Volume 1 collection a resounding thumbs up.
Beware, coward.
Neo Geo, Neo Geo. 4 white buttons and 2 joysticks. Neo Geo, Neo Geo. Blue red cab and a name that sticks. Neo Geo, Neo Geo. 4 white buttons and 2 joysticks. Neo Geo, Neo Geo. Blue red cab and a name that sticks. No one quite the duty fighters like you did.